Hello there, Svenska Huvians. It's great talking to you. Have a great time. Bye.
Thank you.
Rolling Stones. Vi känner honom bäst som den 7:e inkarnationen av Doctor Who och som Radagast from The Hobbit. Please give a warm welcome to Sylvester McCoy.
Wow, you're all standing. I'm not used to doing a standing audience. Normally they sit down, but it's like a political rally. Vote for me. Anyway, here I am. There you are. And I'm going to sit down. Because I can and you can't. Makes it nicer. Oh, look, it's good fun. Hello, hang on. I'm lost. I've got to get back.
Do you need a hand?
No. There we are. There we are. Oh, no, wait a minute. There you are. No, hang on. I'll just do it that way. There we are. Fire away.
Yeah, let's start with a trick question. In the middle of the 1980s, I know that you and Timothy Dalton were on stage together.
Yeah.
And you both said it was hard to find a long-term job. 1 year later, you both had a long-term job. You were Doctor Who, and he was playing James Bond.
Yes.
Was that like a coincidence or a strategy?
Well, it would be nice to say it was a stratagem, but no, it wasn't. It was actually a mistake. See, what happened was that 2 letters arrived at the theatre, and they all got mixed up. I should have had the James Bond one, and he should have had the Doctor Who one, because Doctor Who up until then was generally an Englishman. And James Bond, as we all know, yes, is a Scotsman. Sean Connery was Scots, and James Bond in the books is a Scotsman. So I'm a Scot, so I should have got the James Bond role, and he should have got the Doctor Who one. So it was a mistake. He was good, though.
Yeah, and you were quite good at Doctor Who as well, so...
Yeah, you could take out the quite in that sentence.
And according to you being good at playing Doctor Who, I know that there have been several actors playing Doctor Who, and all the fans intend to start doing lists, etc. Are you affected of all those rankings?
Am I affected?
Yeah, exactly. If you're like number 1 or number 8.
Oh, yeah, people sometimes vote on their favourite and all that kind of stuff. Well, I mean, 1 year I was voted the best, and then another year I was voted the worst. Another year I was voted the middle. Once I did meet a Doctor Who fan he had a plastic bag full of not DVDs, it was VCR covers and posters and books, and he was so excited, and he had a camera with a long lens, and he was going, oh my god, Doctor Who, oh my god, oh please, could you sign these 25 books, oh please sign all this, please sign, oh Doctor Who, trying to take my photograph, oh my god. And I thought, I hope he's got a fast film in that camera, because the thing was shaking like this, because it was shaking. Oh my god. And this is when there were 7 doctors at the time, and he went, oh my god, you're my 5th favourite Doctor. Which, it was very nice of him. At least I wasn't the last favourite, but no, it's people have their favourites, and that's good. So it doesn't bother me.
That's good.
I think that was what your question was asking, wasn't it?
Yeah, indeed it was.
Oh, good.
And I got a plenty good answer as well.
Oh, thank you.
I'm also quite interested to know, is it true that you were considered to play the role as Bilbo Baggins?
Yes, I was. I screen tested for Bilbo Baggins. And what happens is, about 10 actors go along and they film them, and then they sent them out to New Zealand, and then eventually they came back and said, well, these are the dates of the filming. It was about a year's time. If you get any jobs then, let us know. And then they kept saying it, and even right up to the last minute, they kept saying, no, well, we're down to 2 actors now. It's between 2. I didn't know who the other one was, but I was one. And then it turned out that Ian Holm, the great Ian Holm, was the other. I was disappointed, but I was quite flattered to be in his company, to be thought, that I was nearly equal to Ian Holm. And it just went, if he couldn't have done it, I would have got it. But that was the first step on my journey towards Radagast the Brown. And eventually that's where it started, way back then.
A role that you actually do in a great manner, I would say.
You can say that.
I just did.
Yes. But the word is roll. You Swedes can roll your R's like we Scots, can't you?
Of course.
Yes, of course. Yeah. The English can't. That makes us superior to them because they can't roll their R's. Because when the English, who like to do this a lot, when they go to war, they just go to war. They don't go to war. In fact, if you went to war, there's some meaning in it, doesn't it? It sounds like aggressive. But war, no, it doesn't sound. But they're always doing it, the English, go to war. And they get the Scottish to be in the army to do the fighting.
That's brave.
No, it's stupid, really. We should tell them to fight their own wars. And we'll fight our wars. Oops. Ooh.
Please don't fall down.
No, it just came up. It would be... Anyway, fire away, more questions?
Yeah, and before you became an actor, you were actually thought of becoming a priest.
Oh, pope.
Or a monk.
No, I was going to be a pope. I was after the pope, yeah. Recently, you just got a new pope. I told my agent to sit by the phone, because you never know, I thought the Vatican might phone any minute now. Because in the Roman Catholic Church, I believe that any male Catholic can become the pope. You don't have to be a priest or, as such. But those are the distant rules that they've forgotten about. But I'm no longer, I'm a retired Catholic. But no, I did train to be a priest when I was very young. I think in a way it was because it was the most theatrical thing that happened in my small town. When I went to church, there was this guy on the stage. He had great costumes, and good music, and people just sit and listen to him. I thought, wow, that's a job I want. And here I am. Terrible costume, but anyway, that's all by the by. So so I wanted to be a priest, and then in fact I wanted to be an actor. I didn't know it then. And then I studied from the age of 11 to 17, and then I decided I was going to become a monk, because so I left the seminary to join the Dominican monks. I'd sent off forms and filled up forms and letters, and they agreed I should join. But then when I got home, they realized I was only 17 and you have to be 18 to become a monk. And so they said, you have to wait a year before you can join us. So I had to go back to school. And as luck would have it, where I lived in Dunoon, Argyll, Scotland, the only school was called Dunoon Grammar School, and it was a mixed-sex school. So I went to this mixed-sex school, and suddenly, after a very short time, realized that I actually didn't want to wear a skirt. I just wanted to chase it instead. So I gave up all thought of becoming a priest or a pope. Yeah. Luckily I wasn't a Lutheran, otherwise I'd have carried on, because you're allowed to marry in the Lutheran church, aren't you? What a ridiculous thing in the Catholic Church.
I actually think that you did a quite excellent choice becoming an actor instead.
Oh, thank you.
And I know before being this big actor that you are of today, you went for a road show.
A road show?
Exactly, a road show. And I know that when you played in some small town, you were actually paid to quit playing.
Oh yes, no, we used to do working men's clubs, which are very particular kind of clubs. There's not many of them around now. There's not very many of them now around now. We played working men's clubs, and some nights it would go down great. Then the next night you go around the corner to another one and they'd hate you. And at one time they did actually offer Bob Hoskins, myself, and a few others £5 if we wouldn't go on and do any more. That's the answer to your question, I think.
That's a great answer, I would say. And how come you changed your name? Because I know that you were born as Percy James Patrick Kent Smith.
Yeah. I was, and when I became an actor, I called myself Kent Smith. But I only got this job with the Ken Campbell Roadshow, with a guy called Ken Campbell, who was this comic genius. And I suggested after we'd worked in a circus for a while that we should use our circus skills and turn them into a show. And he said, okay, and we'll turn it into a show about a stuntman. and that was me. And I learned to bang nails up my nose, explode bombs in my chest, have bricks broken on my chest, mentally combust cotton wool, escape from mailbags, you know, take a potato, throw it up into the air and hit it, and it would split into 1,000 pieces. And I did all sorts of stunts. And we wanted to give the character a name, and Ken named him Sylvester McCoy. Sylvester after a song. Have you heard about the big strong man who lives in a caravan? Have you heard about the Jeffrey Johnson fight? When that great big American beat the white, you can bring all the heavyweights you got, cause we got a little man to beat the lot. He plays the organ in the belfry, and he wants to fight Jack Dempsey. That's my brother, Sylvester. What's he got? He's got a row of 40 medals on his chest, big chest, explored all the Arctic in his vest. He knows no rest. Big of the arm, strong on the punch, hellfire, son of a gun, don't push, just shove, plenty of room for thee and me. He's got an arm as big as a leg, a lady's leg, and a punch that was sink a battleship, big ship. It takes all the army and the navy to put the wind up. Sylvester. Anyway, that's where this Sylvester came from that song. And we used to sing it in the show. McCoy came from a very rude joke, which I won't tell you, because there might be children present. After midnight, I'll tell you.
Are there anyone out there that has a question to Sylvester?
Oh. Yeah. Right. Hello.
Do you have a favorite doctor that is
Yes, me. Oh.
that isn't you?
I look in the mirror every day and say my favorite doctor.
No, but besides you, do you have a favorite doctor? And do you like the old series the most, or do you like the new series?
Any more questions, or are you finished?
I'm finished.
Okay, yes. Well, my favorite doctor, in fact, is I think a lot of people are like this. It's the first doctor they ever see. They tend to be their favourites, like your first love. You always have a special place for them. And my first doctor was Patrick Troughton, the second doctor, way, way, way back in 1960 something or other when I first saw him. And then I enjoyed the rest. I mean, John Pertwee was great. Tom Baker's amazing. But then I lost touch halfway through Tom Baker's tenure because I became an actor and we didn't have VCRs or any way of recording anything. And I lost touch with series and serials, and because I was acting. And so that's it, yeah. The old series, new series. Well, I don't know really. I mean, I think I love the new series. I love all the fact that they can get Daleks up the stairs very easily. I mean, when I did the one with the Dalek up the stairs, it was quite extraordinary. Well, see that box there? Is it empty? Could you just grab that and give it to me, please? Yeah, that's a Dalek. No, I don't. No, I don't want. No, I just want the box. I did not ask you to open it. Obey. Anyway, so this I was in the first story to have a Dalek actually levitate up the stairs, and what they did was they actually got a big Dalek, a big metally Dalek, and rather than build a lightweight one, they stuck two metal poles in its side like that. And then these metal poles went through a parallel pole to the steps behind a wall. And then they got 10 men on the other side to try and get this bloody Dalek up the stairs. And the poor thing, it was sick by the time it got to the top because it was wobbling all over the place. Whereas now, all you have to do is just press a button and it goes up the stairs. I think that's cheating, isn't it? We had real Daleks, not made up ones. Anyway, what else did you ask me? That was it. 2 questions, 2 answers. Anyone else? Down here, want to ask? Could you come forward? I can't get down there because it's too...
Did you get to keep anything from your Doctor Who costume?
Well, yes, actually, I managed to keep the whole costume. Partly because they gave me a special one to do, PR work. So I had it at home. And so when they stopped it, I didn't tell them I had it, so I had it. So I managed to hang on to that, really. But I think Peter Jackson's now got it. Yeah, he collected them, and I think he's got my costume, my Doctor Who costume. He's also got my Radagast the Brown costume. So I'm hanging on to my own clothes like mad in case he gets hold of those. I don't want to have those. Come forward, yes. Come.
Have you read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, and what did you think of them?
I read them years ago. I read them to my... Well, in the 60s, it was obligatory. You couldn't grow up in the 60s and not read The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. But then my 2 sons came along, so I read them again. And then I got a part in it, so I read The Hobbit and could hardly find my part. luckily, they gave it more in the film than in the book. But yes, no, I did read them. I thought they were great. I thought they were wonderful. Yes. The thing is, could we get something to get me down? No.
Yes, of course. I will bring
Hang
the.
on.
I will bring
Hang
the
on.
letter.
You stay here. No. Hello. Right, I'll get up in here. Someone up here, I saw a hand away up distant past. Oh.
Hello. How was it in the set of The Hobbit, and what was your funniest, the best moment for you?
How was it in the centre of The Hobbit? It was great, except, you know, I mean, the funniest moment was being told by Peter Jackson. He said, "Listen, Sylvester," he said, "I'm going to cover you in shit." And, you know, that was kind of funny. Well, in a way, it wasn't really. But you know, he always said, "I always wanted to cover an actor in shit." So, riding on the sled, that was a hugely enjoyable moment. Hanging on the back of the sled, and they used to get 10 men and ropes, a bit like the Dalek and up the stairs, and they'd rush me through the set and bouncing about all over the place. I loved doing that. And then they stuck the rabbits on later. Upstaging rabbits. You know, when I did the scene with what's his name? Simon? No, not Simon. The hedgehog. When I was doing the scene with the hedgehog, Sebastian, that's his name. Yes, he was called after Peter Jackson's PA, Sebastian. When I was working with Sebastian, it was just a stuffed animal. You know, and there I was the star, me, and this stuffed animal. Anyway, I go along to see the film. What happens? Weta, those blackguards at Weta, those wizards of Weta, turned Sebastian into this upstaging little bloody animal. I hate him. I thought I was my scene, and it becomes his scene. Do you know, when I was at Weta, they asked me, what's his name, runs Weta, Richard Taylor, told me that the most popular requested model is bloody Sebastian. I thought he was going to tell me, but no. So I hate that animal and those rabbits. I hate them. Hello.
Hello. Yes, sorry that it got so much on the Radagast thing, but I'm going to ask a Doctor Who question if that's all right.
Yes.
All right then. Well, how was it like in the TARDIS on the set? Because you know you moved from different set and you got in one location from the other location. How was it like?
Well, I mean, it wasn't... should I give this away? It's not bigger on the inside. In fact, what it was like is, if you imagine you go into this black box, and sometimes it didn't smell very nice, because we were on location, and sometimes there wasn't anywhere for people to go to the toilet, you know? And they'd take advantage of the TARDIS. The technicians. They'd be in there having a wee. And then we'd have to crawl in there afterwards. The smell. Let's get out here and save a planet. The smell's in here. What was great about the BBC in those days is you know the light on top of the TARDIS. I wish there was I could get up and down here. Anyway, the light on top of the TARDIS, it used to flash on and off. What that was a man with a car battery inside the TARDIS and 2 wires, and he'd be going. That's high technology what they were using. So he was in there. There was also someone in there because sometimes it fell down. So there was a guy in there holding it up. And there was myself, and there was Sophie, and then there was some other people, and we were all crammed in this box, desperate to get out and save the universe. Anyway, right.
Hi. I was just wondering, what's your personal opinion on the 50th anniversary special of Doctor Who?
Well, I thought it was great. I saw it the other day, Saturday, in London, in 3D, and I was watching it on a cinema and realised, because it was different watching it in the cinema than watching it in your own room. It's intimate in your own room. It's, you know, you've invited someone in. Suddenly, if you're watching on a cinema, the thing about cinema actors, when they're up there, they're kind of gods for a bit. And I thought, my goodness, you know, these Doctor Who, you know, Matt and David are, you know, like gods up there. I just thought they were amazing. No, I enjoyed it immensely. I was, you know, we were Did anyone see Five Doctors reboot? I think that was better. Over there. Yeah.
How was it to play the Doctor?
How was it? Well, it was great. When I first got the role, I hadn't seen Doctor Who for years and years and years, and I had a distant memory of Patrick Troughton. Then they gave me the script, and the first one, you know, I brought my baggage of comedy skills. Can I take this? I want to get up the stairs, and there's all these ropes and things in the way. Can you rip that off? Are you strong? Just to rip that up. Get it out of the way. Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's easy. So that I get up and down these stairs onto the stage. Sorry about that. Hey, look at that. I've discombobulated them. Whatever that means is a nice word. Discombobulate. That's my favourite word. I love it. What was I saying? Five Doctors. No, what was I? How was it to play the Doctor? Oh yes. Alzheimer's. Here we come. Anyway, when I arrived, I tend to try to go for the comic element in things. You might find that surprising, but so I tried to so I arrived with my bag of comic skills and started playing the Doctor. Then realised after the first season that this is one of the great TV roles, because you can do anything with this character. And at the same time, my grandmother at that time reached the age of 100 years and 3 months, which in those days was quite unusual. And I went to visit her, and she'd been around for years. Another one, the Doctor's been around for years, 950 years. And I was inspired by her sadness of being alive for so long, losing people, and various different things. So I tried to bring that into my Doctor, to make him darker as well. I wanted also to bring back the mystery of the very first Doctor, Doctor Who. That's why I wanted the Who to be really prominent again. So I changed it and developed my Doctor in that way, you know. So that's kind of partly how it happened.
Sylvester, my friend, we really need to start.
When you ever played the Doctor, did you ever get like something in your brain like, hey, I'm not a doctor, when you're in the private life or anything, like you thought you was a doctor and for a second?
Well, I mean, sometimes as an actor, you think, why am I doing this? What am I? I'm a grown man. Why am I doing this? When I was playing the Doctor, no, you just kind of get into it. When you're acting, you just get into it. You believe. You have to believe from that time you are. Otherwise, you know, it would be ridiculous, because sometimes you're asked to do ridiculous things. Anyway, you wanted to say something. Sorry, I was just I thought I'd give a young person a chance.
Yes, of course.
You want me to stop?
I would not love it. I would love to hear you talk much more, but we need to round up, unfortunately.
We've got to. All right. Okay. Well, so how do we? Are we going to say 3 more questions, or are we finishing now, or?
Let's have 2 more questions.
2 more questions. And what am I bid? 3 down to 2 questions.
What was, since you were both in the TV series and in the beginning of the movie with Paul McGann, which were your preferred TARDIS interior? Did you prefer when you were in the TV series, or like the homely?
I better go. There's not much time. I got the question. Okay. Yes. I loved the film TARDIS interior, steampunk. I'd always wanted that when I had it. I mean, I remember thinking it would be great to develop that. So when I arrived on the set, I was so pleased. I was sad that I was leaving. That is my TARDIS. It's not Paul McGann's TARDIS, because I arrived with it. So it was mine. So anyway, you can give it back to me. So I like that one best. But have you seen the photographs of me and Paul McGann together? Some of them, anyway, but you know what they did? They stuck him on a box. He's as small as I am, I think. He's small, and they stuck him on a box. Anyway, a lady.
In The Hobbit, I know you got to do bird whistling. Did you manage to get your spoons into one of the scenes, sneak them in?
You'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I got the bird whistling in. I actually got the birds at Doctor Who, but they was very badly shot. I think it was Silver Nemesis. Yeah, because we were being chased by, what do you call them? Who are the characters in Silver Nemesis? Someone must know. Cybermen, yeah. And we were chased by Cybermen, and then we were in, and the tree shook, and the Cyberman turns towards it, and I said, let's do this will be great. And I go, and then the Cyberman thinks, oh yeah, that's all right, that's a bird, and walks away. But it was very badly shot. I gave that to the director, and he didn't know how to shoot it. Anyway, so how many did you say that was? I've done 1.5, haven't I?
What was the toughest part in playing the Doctor?
The toughest part playing the Doctor? Learning the lines. Gosh, you know, all that gobbledygook, all that science stuff and all that, you have to learn that. Oh, dip your head in. But after a while, I got, I said that we should be educating Ace. When we're not on the screen, we're off in the university, the universe, and Ace is becoming brighter, and I've got to test her every now and again. And when I've got these long speeches, what I do is I start them off, and then I can turn to Ace and say, and what do you think? And she finishes them off for me. So I was being very devious, and I got Sophie to do most of my speeches. So I was very pleased. She was great to work with. Anyway, that's it. I've done 2.5. I've cheated. I've done 3 questions, and you have said only 2. So what happens now? Do we carry on?
Either way, we can carry on, or I can carry you off the stage.
Carry me off. Hello, back there. Sorry I can't get you all, but it was a very short time. Anyway, great meeting you. Thank you for standing up. This is unusual. I've never had a... You really are a stand-up audience. I've never said that before. Anyway, thank you very much. You've been great. Oh, you fixed it.
So finally, big applause for Sylvester McCoy.